Hi, this is Jim Merritt with QuickTrainer Incorporated in beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina, your QuickBooks and accounting experts. And this video today is going to discuss the proper way to set up an inventory item being defined as an item that you want to track the quantity on hand. An item that you purchase for resale, you want to track the quantity of that item or items that you have on hand and see that count, that number of on hand, go down as you sell them and get increased as you purchase them. Alright, so the first thing I want to show you here is if I come to the gear and I click products and services, and here is an item that I have already set up, and I'm just going to click edit so you can see that. Okay, and you can see that when I set this item up called widget 2, that I did not enter a quantity on hand. I would rather do that a different way, i.e. create a check that uses this item to receive the quantities, or enter a bill that uses this item to get this quantity on hand. Now, you may run across the scenario where it's just not real clean. Maybe you're just starting to use QuickBooks Online, but you've had this inventory for years, or you had this inventory from last year, and you want to get those quantities as of, say, 12/31/2014, and here we are at September 22nd. So yeah, there's a different way to go about doing that, and we'll try to cover those today. So all that to say, and let me just show you one more thing about items. When you create a new item and you select that it is an item, you get this option right here that says I track quantity on hand for this product. This enables inventory cost accounting. So that is the box I checked for the item I was just showing you earlier, this widget 2 item. If you didn't want to track the quantity on hand, in other words, maybe it's an item that you sell, but you purchase it as needed, as a request comes in for the sale. Okay, you wouldn't check this. It's that simple. However, you would still want to check this box. So think of this. This is the income side of an item, okay, where this is the cost side of an item. So I'm gonna set this one up, and I'm gonna say that we're gonna call this the widget original. And I'm not going to check this box. And let's say that they sold for $124.98. All right, and that's not a service sale, rather that's a product sale. And let's say that we used to pay $62.07 for them, and that would go to an account called supplies and materials. Alright, so now we've got two different items. We got the widget 2, which is an item that we want to track quantity on hand, which is why you see the 0 over here to reference the quantity on hand. And then you see the original widget, which maybe the scenario is when we first started our business, we didn't inventory them. Clients would walk in, customers would walk in, and we would order them for them as they requested. Maybe we kept 1 or 2 on hand, but we didn't want to track the quantity. And as we sold one, we would order another one to replace it. There's all kinds of scenarios. All right, but either way, when it's time to get this quantity on hand stated, Okay, the way to do that is if you're the type who enters a bill and then later pays that bill, then do so. But if you're the type that just writes a hard check and places that order like that, then enter a check. If you're the type that uses a debit card in your business or a credit card, then just enter it as an expense. And I'm just going to choose expense. All right, and we're going to order them from Weeby Widgets out of this bank, and we'll use that date, and we'll say that it's a actually what we'll do is, if it'll let us, is we'll enter debit card. Okay, debit card transactions come directly from your bank account as opposed to a credit card account. Now, instead of account details, okay, I'm not going to enter anything here. I'm going to actually go to item details, and I'm going to enter the widget 2, and let's enter 12 of those. And we'll also enter a widget original, and let's order 2 of those. Okay. Now, one more thing to be aware of, and that is if I needed to to order one specifically for a customer, okay, that's what this amount right here, or this column right here, is for, where I could pick the customer, and then I could say, well, this is billable to the customer. And we're not going to talk about class tracking, but now these 2 lines, they're to get, my 12 that I want to have on hand, to capture that expense. These two, this one here is just to say I want to enter 2, but it's not going to go to an inventory asset account because we're not tracking quantity on hand, where these 12 will. And actually, this 13th one, since it's the same item, will also go to an inventory asset account. But then we're going to create a bill for Mr. Tom Jones to pick this up. So it'll be in, and then it'll come right back out, basically. All right. So here we have it on 9/1. And I want you to watch now. Dated earlier than the inventory start. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's saying, look, you can't order things earlier than the date from when you set the item up. So I'm just going to change this to be today's date, and then I'll save it. Okay. So now what I want to show you is, if I go back to, well, first of all, if I just go back to that page right there, you can see that we now have 13 of these on hand that we've paid for. Now, 1 is for a client. You'll see that nothing changed here on the original widget, not on this page, but if we look at our reports and we look at a balance sheet, okay, there are the 13 that I just ordered, the 12 plus the 1 for the customer. You can see that the bank balance was reduced by the proper amount. And then if we come over to another report, the profit and loss, you're going to see these are the 2 of the non-inventory type items that I ordered. It's these 2 right here. So those post directly to my profit and loss report. They bypassed inventory asset because we're not tracking the quantity on hand. So if you will do those things each and every time, especially for those inventory items, if you want to track the quantity on hand correctly, you need to do it that way. All right, and The other scenario that you can have, though, is if like I spoke earlier, if you carried inventory from a prior year, for instance, and you're just starting to now set up QuickBooks Online. And one of the ways you could go about doing that would be to enter it as an expense. And let's say you had yeah, I can see a fallacy with this. Let's do this real quick. Let's go back and let's set up a product and a service for a new inventory item. I'm just going to call it test widget. Alright, I want to track the quantity on hand is as of 12/30/2014. Notice this date, this as of date that I'm putting in there. That's what's going to be critical here, so that I can establish what my quantity on hand was as of 12/31/2014. Alright, and let's just say we sell these for $14.99, sales of product income, and we pay $7.49 for them. Cost of goods sold, supplies and materials. Okay, now I should be successful in being able to do this for you. So if we come back over to expense, okay, and we enter our vendor, but we do this as a 12/31/2014. Again, we're not going to enter anything up here, and we're not interested in any of these, so I just click on the little, that's a trash can over there, and I'll enter test widget. And let's say that at the end of the year we had 17 of these on hand. So that means our inventory asset value was $127.33. And then what I would do is I would come up here, and this one gets a little trickier now, okay, and I would say, okay, the offset, because I want to create a $0 expense here. This part is capturing the expense, putting it on the balance sheet, where this part is the offset to that. And I would say to account for on-hand quantities of inventory. And I would enter this as a negative 127.33. You can see now that my expense goes to 0. And the offset to that would likely be an account called retained earnings, because it's in the past. There are at least one other, maybe two other accounts that it could go to, but I'm not going to get into that for purposes of this this discussion. Alright, so we click Save and New. And now if we go back to our test widget, we now see that we have 17 of those on hand. The reason they were not displaying initially is I needed to refresh this page. So there's the 17 we just established, okay? And again, we did that by entering a $0 expense to reflect the charge, and I'll take you back to it right here. So there's the 17 that makes this inventory item show as 17 in the quantity on hand, and gets it on the balance sheet. Let me take you over here. Let me show you the balance sheet. Okay, and we'll say show all dates. All right, so there's those right there. Those are the 17. Okay, and then yeah, I think that's it. I hope this helps. I hope it wasn't too confusing for you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or you can reach out to us via email, info@quicktrainer.biz, info@quicktrainer.biz. You can visit us on our website at www.quicktrainer.biz, quicktrainer.biz. Make it a great day.